Now that we have set up our chart of accounts and sample balance sheet, we are ready to begin entering transactions. If you have not already entered your beginning checkbook balance, you will need to do so before you begin entering transactions. Go to Beginning Balance Sheet and enter your beginning balance for the checking account. In this case, our beginning balance is $6,500. This is where you would enter your beginning checkbook balance. Let's go into the Checking Transactions and begin work. Select the Transactions menu. The empty window here is the Register. Below the Asset tab is the Pick List window. Here you can click on the down arrow and select a different asset checking account, such as this one. You will want to set up the 1001 account for the one that gets the most use, as that will be the default one that is automatically selected. Next, we will cover the Register tabs, and then we will cover entering a check. This is the most important section to cover in detail, as many of the tools and tips in this section will help in entering other types of transactions. To set up your online financial institution, go to Edit, Preferences, and Financial Institution. Then go to Edit, Chart of Accounts, and edit your checking account 1001 and attach the financial institution to that account. This button performs bank statement reconciliation on selected transactions. You can select transactions by clicking in these boxes. Print selected checks in the register or print a check register report by clicking here. You select checks by clicking in these boxes. Set your transaction preferences here. This deletes the highlighted transaction. This marks the highlighted transaction as void. Here, enter a vendor to search for, then press Enter to find subsequent vendors. In the lower half of the transaction screen, you will see a blank check. By clicking on the down arrow under Transaction Type, you can select either check, deposit, or withdrawal. Withdrawal is used for any transactions where the bank automatically withdraws funds from your account, which includes debit card transactions, cash withdrawals, and other withdrawals. Select Check and then click on New. The cursor automatically appears in the Date field. If this is your very first check, you will need to click on the check number to move the cursor to the check number field. Here you can enter your beginning check number. The check number will automatically increment as additional checks are entered. To move from the check number to the date, to the pay to the amount, to the memo, etc., press the Tab key. Here you can type in the date or click on the down arrow to open a calendar and select the date. Now, to demonstrate, we are going to write a check to Smith Automotive dated February 5th, 2016 in the amount of $455. The transmission had to be repaired and we are going to expense it to the truck repair expense account. There are a couple options when it comes to filling in the vendor name or pay to. First of all, you can quickly and easily build a pick list of vendors. Click on Edit and then Pick Lists. Here, you can add as many vendors as you want at one time. Once the vendor's name is in the pick list, the Easy Fill feature will automatically type ahead and fill in the entire vendor's name. Alternatively, as soon as you type in a new vendor's name and you would like to add it to the pick list, you can click on the Add Modify Pick List box to add a vendor. For example, we will type in Smith Automotive and then click on the Add Pick List box. A window will appear that will allow you to enter the vendor's address and phone number, tax ID, and if you want that vendor to get a 1099, vendor account number, monthly amount, memo, and save to another ledger. These are all optional. Only a name is required to save a vendor. The Insert key will open up a pick list to view or select from the list. These fields are described in more detail in the EasyFarm manual. Now we will fill in the dollar amount with $455. Once your cursor moves into the memo field by either clicking or typing the Tab button, you can enter a memo about this particular check. Like the Pay To field, the Memo field also has an ellipse, so you can also build a pick list of memos. Now press the Tab key. At the bottom portion of the screen, under the check, is the area for entering accounts. Here you will find a place to select an account by either name or number. One common mistake that people make is that they try to enter an asset or a liability account into this cell. This is to be used for income or expense accounts only. You will never input an asset or a liability account into this cell. You have several options for selecting an income or expense account. You can either type in the account number or the account name. You can switch from the name field to the number field by using the mouse or pressing the Shift tab, which reverses the direct of the tab. Also, by pressing the Insert key, you open up the pick list of accounts as well. Notice that if you press the Insert key or click on the down arrow when your cursor is in the Account Name field, then the list will be displayed in alphabetical order. If your cursor is in the Account Number field when you hit the Insert key, the list will be displayed in numerical order. In this example, we'll be using the Truck Repair account. The easiest method for retrieving the account is to have your cursor on the Account Name cell and type in Truck Repair. Also, notice that as you type the account name, it will search for the name alphabetically. Usually, you can type in the first few characters and the proper account will pop up. Here, we will type TRU and then press the down arrow on the keyboard until we arrive at the right account name. You also have the ability to create an income or expense account on the fly. When you type in the number or name of account that does not exist and press Save, a window will pop up saying Account so-and-so does not exist. Would you like to add it? Click on Yes and it will take you to the Chart of Accounts maintenance screen. Here, you create a new account, and after saving it, you will return back to the previous screen under the check where you can now select the account you just created. The next cell deals with the amount. Since we have already entered the amount of the check up above, this amount is reflected in the Amount cell at the bottom of the screen. We will not need to change the amount here simply because of the nature of this check. However, if we had written this check for 2 or more different expenses, then we would enter the appropriate amount for the expense account we selected. We will go into a split transaction in more detail later. Press your Enter key on the keyboard to accept the current amount of $445. This field is only used on a split transaction. The Memo cell works just like the Memo cell on the check face. Here we'll type White Ford into the Memo field and then add it to the pick list. You can press the Enter key to continue on. Press your Enter key or click on the Save button to continue on. There are other useful tips and tricks in the manual.